Hey, Kendal. Kendal. I'm about to film. You give me like 15 minutes to talk to the people.
Okay.
Alright. Thank you.
Okay with that.
Appreciate that. Hey, what's happening? My name is Gerard. I'm a plant collector. And in this video, we're talking about some watering, how I water all of my plants and how I recycle my koi water to assist and to boost the growth of my plants. Keep watching. So I want to go over one thing that I actually just found out about on YouTube recently. And this one thing is called guttation or guttation. It's basically when you see water droplets on the end of your leaves and you didn't spray any water through them or spray any water on top of them. So basically what happened where that water droplet came from, usually after you water your plant or something happens to your plant, or it's basically the water is from the roots is transported upwards and it's just secreting water throughout the plant and it's ended up on the leaves. So it's just getting rid of it. So it's not harmful. I think it looks nice. I never thought it was a bad thing. I was almost thinking it was just water. It's not meaning that you have too much water. It's just how the plant transfers water from its roots up to the leaves. And usually when I water my plants, I don't even get the leaves wet. So that's one little tad bit information that I could give you. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This channel is all about plant care and plant community. You can also check my photography Instagram page out where I got a lot of popping pics on my Instagram of my picture of my plants and etc. So check me out on there, Gerard_horticulture_. And now to the watering process that usually takes me about a day to knock out the whole collection, a whole day. So hang with me to the end. As a special new member to the collection. Alright, so yes, like today I am watering primarily all of my plants because I am taking a third of the water out of my koi tank and I am going to use that to water my plants. Now there's a couple benefits of me doing this. One, I'm not using the water from my house and I'm repurposing the koi water to feed most of my plants. So what I'll do is mostly I'll grab a large container, a couple of large containers, because like I said, I'm going to be taking 30% of water out of my 100-gallon tank and I'm going to be reusing that to water the plants. Now I usually bottom water most of my plants. It's researched to be the best method to water your plants from the bottom, meaning I put the plant in some water that's like a little bit of higher than the bottom and I let the water just soak in from the bottom, and when I see it at the top I know it's fully watered. I like to do this in the morning because I noticed or researched a routine that most of your plants, like, I guess they use water and they use the movement of water mostly in the morning. So I'm morning watering, and I'm watering from the bottom, and I'm watering using my koi water, which already has nutrients from the koi that I am going to give like a low dose feeding to, even though it's in the winter. And usually you're not supposed to feed your plants in the winter. The koi water has bacteria, other things like that inside of it that's all natural, so it's usually at a low dose because my filtration is pretty high. The amount of fish to amount of space and my frequency of water, my frequency of feeding the fish, all kind of tie together because I've had a numerous experience, probably 20 years experience with fish keeping. I've had piranhas, I've had Oscars, I've had Texas cichlids, I've had African cichlids, I've had crayfish. I had a salt water tank at one point, but the salt water was just a little bit too in depth. So my first love was freshwater, so that's what I'm sticking to. So I'm a freshwater aquarium person, I guess you want to say. But like I said, the koi water is helping feed the plants as well with a low dose, something that won't burn them or stress them out in the bacteria aspect. And that's what's going on today. And if you could do that, you could probably help yourself out with your plants as well if you're struggling as far as the size of the plant, the fullness of the plant, etc. All natural stuff. So that's what we got going on today. One particular plant that I wanted to mention that I did get from a Facebook marketplace site is the Birkin philodendron. I've been seeing the prices kind of fluctuate between, I would say, $30 to all the way up to $100 for this particular plant. I divided up my wide leaf philodendron Adionside, the Swiss cheese plant, and I made a fair swap with the philodendron Birkin, but I only had to pay for shipping. So I really am not going to show you the unboxing. I just want to show you the plant, and I considered it a win-win because I didn't have to actually pay for the plant. I just had to pay for the shipping because I'm usually dividing my plants and cutting them up every so often to get more plants, and it all kind of works together. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. Other than that, if you have trouble with watering, rule of thumb is to get a water meter, something that you could stick inside your soil and check how dry the soil is. But on this scale of amount of plants that I have and the size of them, I pretty much kind of timed it where I was just moderately watering some, and then most of them, like my cactuses, which I rarely water, my agaves, which I rarely water, my sansevieria, that guy over there, the monstera, I did a full watering of it, and just my larger plants, even the ones that I have upstairs in the money making room, which has grown right now because I've just transitioned a lot of my plants. We got stands up in like two corners, like a right angle. I'm not trying to take too much space because we need to use that for tax purposes, because we're trying to use that room as a income stream to help the movement out as far as the plants and helping us as a family. So the plants are helping us as well generate an income stream to help us all out and seeing where it could take us. So that's pretty much it, guys. My waterings, this whole thing really took a day. In between, you know, just monitoring and checking, okay, I gotta change this plant because when you take it out, the bottom watering, you gotta have another tray for it to like empty out the water, because if you put it on wood or something else, the water is just going to keep standing unless you got something plastic or like a saucer. Most of the time I don't really use a lot of saucers, so I have a secondary tray where I put the plant on and let it drain out, then I put it in its proper place. But I also like to change around my plants from time to time because they just need to be rotated. And I'm just testing out the artificial light as far as the natural light that I have, that my house provides, which is like a win-win. So I'm just happy I'm using things. And I was talking to a person about a office and something that I can write off with my taxes, because if I start like an online business or something like that, I can use the plants or the space and write off a portion of that as far as for tax purposes. And like I said, this thing just keeps going and going and going. So there's so many possibilities where plants can take you if you just follow your heart. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep growing, and everybody keep growing and take it easy.